Storm DJ's podcast.
Welcome one and all to the latest Storm DJ's interview podcasts, where we interview the best DJs and musicians to find out all about their lives, their loves, and their stories. The latest round of interviews have been filmed at Higher Space HQ, otherwise known as the Biscuit Factory, not the forest behind me. This week we'll be interviewing Liam, who's one half of the rebellious Rumpsteppers who've taken the world by storm. So yeah, sit back, have a listen to his crazy interview, followed by the quite mental mix at the end of that. So yeah, enjoy.
Right, so I'm here with Liam, one half of the Rumpsteppers.
Hello.
How you doing?
Very good, man. Thank you.
All good. So,
Yourself?
Yeah, I'm not too bad, man. I'm not too bad, thanks. First person to actually ask me. No one else normally cares.
Politeness. Doesn't cost anything.
So take us back to the beginning. Rumpsteppers, you're a duo.
Yeah,
How'd you come about the name? How'd it all come around, you two getting together?
We'd studied music together at uni. I went to Kingston Uni. And we started running like an events company, some pretty good things with that as well.
Yeah, nice.
But we started to realise that, you know, playing music had started to take a backseat to promoting. So it was like, we can just get kind of back round to that. So we sat, both of us, you know, guitar players, singers, and both singer-songwriters. And so we started like making some of our own tunes and stuff, and you know, really getting some momentum behind it. And we did one gig, and it was just like, no. But from that kind of came the idea of getting a DJ act together. We started doing it, and it just kind of popped off, and it was just from there on, it just rolled much better than any of our sort of like actual acoustic singing music I'd ever done before. So I was like, all right, let's roll with this, it's good. And that was it, really.
So you didn't come from a particularly electronic background, you just kind of fell into it?
None whatsoever. We were like, I was sort of like indie, he was like sort of like ska punk, you know, like that kind of thing. So we kind of take that energy into what we do now, which is quite nice.
So in terms of the stuff you were promoting, were you promoting indie nights or was it electronic nights?
Yeah, like mostly we did do some under 18 nights, which were like dubstep and drum and bass. And it was ridiculous, man. We had to confiscate all the alcohol, but like we would sell alcohol as well at the venue with a certain wristband.
Okay.
What we did is we just confiscated all the alcohol the kids were taking in and just sold it. So like, you know, we did all right with that. But yeah, no, mostly it was a lot of bands, like open mics and stuff like that. We should do like a festival as well. We ran a festival
nice.
where we were in Kingston. So yeah, no, we kind of had that basis, and really a lot of the people that we've met now that have helped us, we met kind of through those avenues. So we've kind of taken those contacts and used them in a different way, which is like, I never regret, you know, those couple of years. It was me, Miles, and another guy called Tim. He's in Tancaster Henge. If you don't know of Tancaster Henge, check them out, book them for your event now. So yeah.
Oh, cool. So going back, you obviously met at music school or things like that. Where did the name come from, the Rumpsteppers?
All right, so when we were in our little acoustic duo, we haven't really had too much of a foot to be DJs. We had loads of different names. We were like banding around all these names, and like we think of a name and check it online, and it's just always taken. So like the ones we were going to be was Beast in the Box, which I still think is good. Copyright. What else do we have? We had like our side, which I thought was quite nice. We had another one which was like Fingers for Guns. So like pretty stupid names, but you know, always quite fun. But then like we had a gig, and it was like, all right, we need a name. We got to pick a name, so I just went Rumpsteppers. Yep, done. Okay, that's not taken. Go. And that was it. That was our name from then on, and it's kind of worked because you know it works on a couple of levels, but it's stupid as well, and it's not too serious. Like so, yeah.
No like philosophical meaning behind it. It's just like spur of the moment.
Yeah.
What can I type?
Yeah.
It sounded alright.
Totally that.
Fair enough. So what was your first gig like? I mean, like you said, you come from a musical background and then you kind of moved on to DJing. So did you play rock and roll stuff or grunge stuff when you were playing live? Or?
Went straight into kind of electro swing, gypsy beats. So we met a guy Chris Tofu. So he's an amazing guy. Big up Continental Drifts. Those guys, they run like the Hell Stage at Glastonbury. They run like all of Shangri-La. They run basically like just loads of amazing stuff at festivals. And we met him through our promotions company, and we kind of got together with them. And he just turned us on to electro swing, Balkan beats, all the stuff that he'd been sort of nurturing the scene. And then it kind of just went from there. We were like, let's just like find as much of this good stuff as possible and start DJing that. And it just went from there. So yeah, the first gig was, we booked ourselves actually. our events company, we put on a really good night. Sold like a whole bunch of tickets, and then we were like, we better get good at this, like, you know. And it just so happened like we weren't even a thing yet. And a friend of ours who ran a club just down the road, a really good club night, he just said, "Oh, do you want to come play afterwards?" And we were like, "Oh, okay." Like our first like gig is like 2 gigs on one night. Oh, so we did ours, and then we went down the road, and we didn't realise actually his house was his night was a house night. Okay. But we just came in and just like fucking rinsed the jungle like, and it went down really well because all our mates came from our gig as well and packed up the club, and cool. So it was good, man. It was good. That was our first gig was actually all right.
Yeah.
Yeah. Not we didn't expect it to be, but it was like.
Well, it sounds fairly legitimate though. We've heard a lot of people say they're kind of going around with a bucket collecting money from people at house parties, and that's their first paid gig. But yours obviously was booked through yourself, so
we paid ourselves. Not a lot, but you know.
You've already mentioned a few styles like jungle house and electro swing and stuff. So would you consider yourself open format DJs or like more niche?
I think like we're niche in the what we do. If you let us do it, if you let us just do our thing, probably we're more niche because like our tastes are quite specific. But open format for sure, because we just love everything really. I'm not really like fussed about I won't really play this, I won't really play that. Like there's certain things I like more than others, but yeah, definitely I'd say we're open format.
Yeah. The thing I take away from any mixes I've listened or videos I've seen is that it's the energy that's important to you rather than the style of music.
Totally.
You know what I mean? If people are feeling it and it's like a high octane party, then it works, sort of thing.
Yeah, it don't really matter.
Is that what you go for then?
Totally.
Regardless of BPM, it's just as long as it's got a feel to it.
Yeah. I mean, I think like we generally tend to stick around like 110 BPM, maybe 125, and then 174 for we kind of move through those. But do you know what? Like when it's an open format thing, it's like just don't worry about it. Just play, because if it feels good, it's going to pop off, and we're going to make it feel good. So yeah.
So that was your first gig that you were telling about before. What would you say is your favourite gig or your biggest venue, perhaps?
Oh man, okay.
I've seen you played at Glastonbury before, right?
Yeah, actually,
you just got back from Hanover,
that was Hanover was great. Actually, it was a proper sweaty like fist bumper one. What's our favourite gig? Actually, one of my favourite memories actually is like just Isle of Wight. Like we do the circular quirk stage there, which is freaking amazing. They've booked some really good acts this year as well, so we're coming back there. But yeah, like it's just a proper filthy party. Like, and there's a lot of circus stuff going on around us as well, so that's really good fun. And to be honest, you know what? Actually, I'm going to have to draw a pile with that. Actually, there's another one we did just the other week, Morning Gloryville.
Okay.
Have you guys heard of Morning Gloryville?
No, I'll have to check it out.
Amazing. It's like morning rave.
Before work, isn't it?
Before work. That's
early
it.
one, is it?
That's it.
Oh, right.
Yeah, everyone's sober. Everyone gets up and has like a shot of like cacao or whatever. Does some yoga and then just raves really hard, man. And like we went off really well there. So yeah, those two are like on a par-ish,
Fair enough. And so you get around and do quite a few festivals and stuff, but you also do clubs and corporate and private gigs and things like that.
Yeah.
So you're fairly versatile, you'd say, I guess.
I reckon so. We kind of like fit in with whatever the vibe is, but like I said, if you let us do our thing, we'll naturally get over hyperactive and like, amp it up a bit.
So you seem to be playing quite a lot. How do you find time to either produce music or find music yourself?
So I mean, I think I go through phases. Like I'll just I'm always listening to something. Like so, I'm constantly got podcasts in my ears. I never have like a moment to think to myself really. And then like I'll just go on a day, a spree. Find, save, love. So that's kind of my finding process. Mars is pretty similar to that, to be fair. And production, we set aside time to do it together. So like normally it's Mondays, but that kind of changes. But you know, my little studio at home, Miles will come over and we'll have a day of like, you know, producing. But yeah, I mean, it's the same for me as well. Like, you know, sometimes it will just be like really late nights. I'll just be like, okay, right, I'm staying up till God knows when to just finish this, because it's like, you know, I'm on the tip of it. It's just whenever the inspiration takes, I think, really. So
fair enough. So that's sort of your most recent kind of musical interest. What was your first musical purchase? Can you remember that? Obviously, going back to your indie days, I'd imagine some sort of Britpop song with it.
Man, Bon Jovi.
Was it?
Yeah, man. Yeah. Well, no, I was pretty young. I must have been like 10 or something like that. That probably doesn't hold up, but it was Crossroads. Man, I still love that album. I don't care. Like, we still drop Living on a Prayer at certain gigs, and it always goes off without fail.
And was that CD?
Yeah, I think it was a CD. I think it was like, you know, it must have been a reissue or something, because that surely came out on tape the first time, right? But yeah.
So where do you stand on this whole sort of vinyl debate? People saying there's a comeback for it. Do you play vinyl?
Miles does. He started to scratch, so he started on the time code, and he's also got himself like a little mini turntable with like some little 7 inches.
Oh, nice.
Yeah, man, it's good fun. That it's really good fun. Little box of tricks. But yeah, I mean, you know, like I'm kind of in awe of the guys who properly go for the vinyl. Like, we've got a couple of friends like JFB, he's like, you know, like UK champion scratch. We've got like Jamie Chicken, Danny Wav, all these boys who are just amazing scratchers. And you know, that's incredible. I love that. I also love the guys who just like DJ off of vinyl. They've just got the records, they pick them, they raffle for the bag. As I've said, I came into this culture a lot later than that. So like, I came from, you know, 6 Strings and the Truth. And that whole side of it kind of was slightly lost on me. So like, you know, I completely can respect anyone that goes like, oh, like, you know, digital DJs are like, not real. Like, it's like, well, you know what, you put your work in years back and you earn the right to say that. But, you know, like, I can turn up and do the same thing as you on like a digital setup, and it would sound the same. So it's only for people that really like value that sort of that technique that would care about that. But like, if you care about that, fair play to you, just don't come and see my show, that's cool.
So you're, as I said before, your guys are just more about the music and the energy, regardless of what format it is. So.
Totally the same. Like, yeah.
That's fair enough. So we mentioned before you've done festivals and travelling around quite a lot. What's the furthest distance you've gone for a gig? Have you gone around the world at all?
Where did we go? We went out to Sweden, actually. That was really good fun.
Oh, nice. Whereabouts?
We went to a tiny little town called Lund, actually. It was really good. It was really good. One of our first gigs, it might have even been our first gig. A girl saw us and she's like, I have to have you for my wedding.
Wow.
So she flew us out there. And it was this amazing, like, gorgeous, picturesque, building that we played in. And it was a really good time, that one. Where else? We went out to Berlin. That was like, I love going to Berlin, man.
Hectic,
it's so much fun. Yeah,
such a fun city, but
my missus wants to live out there. She's like, come on, every time. But you know, yes,
you don't get much sleep when you're there.
No. But yeah, it's good.
So as we've discussed, music takes up majority of your life normally now. I'd say, does music fund your life, and do you have a part-time job or anything like that?
But yeah, I've got,
what's your instance?
2 or 3 days. I am a manny. I look after the puppers. Like,
very kind,
nice. Yeah, exactly. Yeah, no, it's good fun actually. The parents, they're really lovely. They like, whenever I need to do a gig or go to a festival, they're just like, do it. We'll sort it out. And yeah, like I get there in the morning, and as soon as they're out the door, it's just like, you know, house, drum and bass on, Beverly Arms. So yeah, those kids are going to have a damn good musical education by the time I'm done with them.
You'll need to like sample some baby noises or something and put it in a track.
Man, loop.
Fair enough. Well, I think that's pretty much all the music stuff covered now. So we're going to go on to our mini sort of quickfire round, which doesn't really end up being any quicker than the rest of it, but they're more sort of definitive questions.
Hit me.
So we'll start with, what's your morning routine? What's a day in the life like?
Okay, on a good day, get up, do a bit of a workout, like maybe go for a swim or something, come home and just get on a production in general, like, you know, if it's a good day and I've got a lot of ideas coming, then just go straight through with that. Applause. Thank you, guys. And then like I'll kind of watch a couple of tutorials or whatever. If Miles is over, I'll be trying to drag him down the pub, but he's pretty good at not doing that. He's pretty good focus. So yeah, no, that's kind of a general day for us. Like by the end of the day, it's just like, yeah, either chill out and watch TV, or if I'm just really focused on the tune, just hunker down till 3 or 4 a.m. or whatever and get it done.
The day's gone and you don't know where.
Yeah, those are the good days. Yeah.
You seem fairly structured though, in terms of some people just like, oh, I'll wait for my ideas to come, or I'll be creative when I feel like it. But you're like, no, I'm going to dedicate this time to doing this.
I do try and do that. Yeah, I do try and do that. Like I say, if it's not like, if I'm banging my head up against a brick wall, I try and I sort of say, okay, right, stop, watch a bit of a tutorial or whatever. Like try and learn something rather than sort of waste a day or whatever. But yeah, that's generally what I try and stick to when I'm being good.
Next one, on a scale of 1 to 10, how weird are you?
Okay, I'd say a 7, but then with outbursts of like 11 or 12, like, you know, just like I mean, if I'm answering for Miles, I've got to go for a 9 for that guy.
Really?
You know, so he sort of like brings the weird quota up a little. But yeah, you know, in a good way. In a good way.
You'd say you're a 7.
Yeah, like, you know,
just 12.
Yeah, just random, you know, like explosions of weirdness. Like I like that. I wouldn't change that.
Like 4 days straight in Berlin without sleep.
Yeah, that sort of thing, or just like, you know, taking all your clothes off on stage at a gig, throwing them, and then not being able to find them until that morning. That's a good night at Glastonbury.
You do seem to kind of put in some kind of theatrics to your shows, rather than just the music. You know, sort of the hands in the air and a bit of dancing and stuff.
Yeah.
Do you like that sort of stuff? And getting the crowd involved?
I love all that stuff. That's kind of what we live for, because like, you know, it's about transferring how you feel about that song. Like you spent this time like finding that song and listening to it and working out how to, you know, and it says something to you, so you've got to tell them what it says to you and make them feel it as well. And that, otherwise, what's the point? For me, I mean, like I've been to a lot of gigs where that doesn't necessarily happen. You still enjoy it, but if I'm going to bother doing it, I'm going to try my best to make you feel the way, you know, the way I feel about it. So yeah, there was the Morning Gloryville one we just did. There's like a Jack Beach tune. Well, I think it's originally like a Project Bassline tune that's got this crazy like synth in it. Yeah. And so I just went up the front and like my friends do this crazy dance to it. Like so like I kind of just started doing it, and you just watch people kind of following me, like, and it's all like a bunch of little meerkats doing all this sort of stuff, like, and it just it was. There's a little clip of it online. I'll have to show it to you guys later.
Yeah, we'll put a link in the podcast.
Yeah, dude, that's a good one.
Well, it seems a lot more fun than just sort of some techno guy all in black, not making any facial expressions or something.
Yeah, I think that's safe to say.
Fair enough. The next one. What is your spiritual practice, if you have one?
So I was raised Catholic, but then a couple of years back, maybe like 10 years ago now, started sort of reading some books and stuff, and I was like, you know what, I'm an atheist and I'm cool with that. Like, and it took me a little while to go, oh, hold on, this is terrifying. Like, I thought I was gonna like you know, go somewhere after this, but actually I'm alright with it, you know. So like, yeah, science, bro. Yeah.
Sort of good vibes, positive kind of people.
Straight up, absolutely. Like, yeah, it's not like a sort of doomsday thing. It's just sort of like, it doesn't matter that, you know, for me that there's no purpose. I just want to be good to people anyway. So like, that's enough for me. Like,
and like we keep saying about the energy and stuff, you can't. It's a bit kind of hippie maybe to say you like feel positivity with people, but when there is everyone in a good mood and everyone's dancing, you do kind of feel this energy.
Man, there's a science to that. Like, we just may not have calculated it properly yet, but there's definitely a science to a group of people going bananas.
For sure. Next one. What would you do in the event of a zombie apocalypse?
Okay, so
this is you on your own, not with your other Rumpstepper.
Okay. All right, so he can fend for himself. He's tall, he's fast, it's fine. But yeah, like my wife is genuinely terrified about this. So like, she occasionally would just sort of like just reaffirm our plan.
Oh, really?
With me. So it's like, our plan, there's a nice pub near where we live. It's got a big roof on the top.
Okay.
Obviously, you know, it's a bit like Shaun of the Dead, innit? Yeah. You know, you get in there and you've got your pig snacks. And, you know. But yeah, so I mean, it's also within reaching distance of the river. So if it all goes tits up, I reckon we could hop into the river and just have a little swim. Be all right. I'm not worried about it. I think we'll be all right.
Fair enough. What is something you're not very good at?
Oh, something I'm not very good at.
You a sporty guy? Do you clean?
Oh yeah, yeah. I mean, yeah, I love cooking. To be fair, you know what? I tell you what, swimming.
So being near the river in a zombie apocalypse maybe won't help.
Actually, I mean, to be fair, like I thought I could swim. I always had this idea that I was doing it right with my head above the water, and then like one of my friends was like, you're supposed to put your face in the water. I was like, I don't like. So now whenever I go swimming, I'm trying to teach myself to put my face in the water, but I just panic. So all I can do is just sprint to the end before I have a panic attack. But yeah, so I'm getting there. I'm it's a discipline, same as anything else. So, that's definitely something I can improve at.
Next one's a bit personal. What's your ideal sandwich?
Oh man, do you know what's not my ideal sandwich? I just went veggie about a year ago, and I went to Marks and Sparks, I think it was, and bought a New York deli veggie sandwich, and I swear to God, I just wanted to burn it, all of them, so no one else could ever have them.
It's garbage.
It's that bad. But if I was still eating meat, I would definitely say New York deli sandwich. Yeah.
I've just tried to turn semi-veggie. I bought it's called Part-Time Vegetarian. This cookbook. It's good.
Okay. See, I think that's the reason we're doing it. We're doing it for some probably slightly misguided way to bring the carbon footprint down. But I think what me and my wife have said. We went out to Hanover, like I say, just the other weekend, and the guy that put us up, the guy that booked us, he's like an amazing tour guide who took us around the city, and the food, man. You can't be in Germany and not eat some of the meat that they've got out there. And I was like, okay, I'm going to be a vegetarian when I'm at home. When I'm on holiday, I'm going to eat meat. So we need to go on tour more often to other countries.
Fair enough. Right, the final question, which is always the toughest one, I think. But from what I've just spoke to you about, you seem to have it down already. What track would you choose to close the End of the World party?
Okay, so DJing... just after us on the Hell stage at Glastonbury on the Sunday night was DJ Christopher, this amazing guy who's just like an incredible tune selector. He's also got like a brass band next to him as well, and like some of the world's best cutters right next to him, some of the world's best MCs. It's just a big festival party. Everyone's on stage, and we're getting, the sun's up, these sort of like probably a couple of thousand people just like. And I'm like, what are you going to finish with? It's like you've got to end hell for the year. Highway to Hell, AC/DC, and it was just incredible. Like there's a couple of videos of just everyone standing on every available stage, everyone trying to all the crowd trying to get on the stage, and the security sort of like, oh, go on, let them, it was a properly amazing moment. So yeah, that's End of Hell, End of the World, End of whatever, always Highway to Hell every time.
Fair enough. It sounds like you'd go out of the bank for sure. You'd be so pumped. You'd be ready. Fair enough. Well, that's everything I've got. We've got a 30-minute mix coming up from both of you.
Yep.
I think there's plans to hopefully get the second Rumpstepper in for his own podcast.
For sure. You need to maybe put the mic a bit further away from him. He's a little bit more dynamic than me with the old voice.
Fair enough. Well, anyway, good to see you.
Boom.
Take care.
Cheers, man. Thank you very much.
Storm DJs Podcast.